Hello everybody, welcome back to Subarashiki Hibi. Today we're going to be looking more into everything that's going on surrounding Takuji and Kimika. We're going to be probably learning some really quite odd things because my god, last time was so weird. I mean, we saw one of the most drug-induced things we've probably seen in this visual novel so far. I mean, we saw a celebration with flying cows, with Kimika quite literally floating, with obviously buildings somehow rising to space, fireworks going off, fireworks with a perfect circle from looking from bird's eye view. Yeah, obviously being able to see the fireworks from bird's eye view as well, I suppose. But yeah, my god, as you could probably tell, there were so many weird things, and it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to develop of Takuji and Kimika's relationship, because there are a few theories I have about Kimika, but at the same time it's a bit hard to tell what they lead to and whether they're correct, because they're very contradictory. For example, I think that everything that was going on surrounding Nishimura and Kimika constantly asking Takuji to revive him, I think that was a test. I think if anything, that kind of implies that maybe she wants to expose Takuji's delusions. I don't know. But at the same time, I mean, I feel like Kimika is somebody who's very damaged. Do you remember, firstly, her knowledge on drugs, and secondly, just in general, why she needed those drugs? She had things wrong with her brain, apparently. I mean, yeah, maybe it's because she's a damaged person and she wants to look for someone else who she thinks is damaged. And maybe that's why she's been so enthusiastic about following Takuji's delusions. I don't know, though. And obviously there is the question of just how much of it is a delusion as well. Right, so we're going to reread a bit first, just get a little reminder of everything. It's such an odd scene, yet it is kind of beautiful in a way. How did she say this? Yeah, she does sound lonesome, I agree. But also she said was that so they mean lonesome things, but they also sound very lonesome. Yeah, but now I see that. It's our limit, because I suppose it's the limit of the incomplete Earth. And there is no further place that the incomplete Earth can go towards. What's going to happen to Kagami, by the way? Seriously. Yeah, especially on concrete. Oh, no, hang on a second. I'm being a bit deceived. I was misremembering things. Well, whichever the material the roof is made of. I don't know, I forgot. I thought they were sleeping on the ground for a second. I was a bit confused. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, no. I really remember everything that Yuki, ironically, was saying about the skies, just how it was just one of the thoughts, one of the times where Yuki was thinking random things, and obviously somebody like her, she's extremely intellectual. She questions everything, which I don't blame her. It's not a bad mindset to have, especially when reading, because it's interesting to read about. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's similar to her thought of the fact that all of the days of the week, even the weekends, there may be special days because we assign meaning to them, so that they are special days. But there's not really anything going on in terms of the sky. There's no variation. There's no indication that it is a certain day. There's only indication that it is a certain season. Sometimes. Yeah, it may be over and this may be the last one, but it's as if the sky is any other sky. It begs the question of, is there a Tsuyu no Sora in this chapter? Interesting that she thought about it for so long. I just don't really get why you would include that. You think so long about whether you have forgotten anything, and if anything comes to mind. It's odd. Maybe it's as if it's the final time in the world. Maybe she's thinking hard for things that she has forgotten in life. Maybe amends she wants to make, things she wants to correct. Yeah, no, that's interesting. It's like the dialectical thinking, you remember something. Well, you know something and then you completely forget it, but then you spend your life searching for it. I do wonder what that is. Nothing is unnecessary. So whatever she wanted... If nothing's necessary, then that wasn't necessary what she needed to remember. So... Well, yeah, of course. Even if nothing is necessary or if everything is unnecessary, the truth still holds the same value in being unnecessary. I think that's just what it's trying to emphasize, but just in a bit of a convoluted manner. Yeah, it's odd. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Isn't that interesting? So, things that were incredibly... So, unhappy things, understandable that she would forget and she would think they're too insignificant to want to remember again, but on the contrary, things that are happy, she wants to forget those as well. And it's interesting, maybe she just wants to forget the entirety of her life so that she can be near Takuji or something like that, or maybe she wants to go into the Tsui no Sora without anything there. Maybe she wants to forget herself because she's going to do something really bad. Who knows? That was odd. Yeah, so what was interesting about this was obviously seeing the stuff regarding just at the beginning here. I was going to say something, but then I forgot what. So yeah, I just need to find it. Yeah, obviously what she's forgotten. I think that tells us a little bit about her character, but also the sleeping patterns as well. It's really odd to think about the fact that Takuji finds it hard to... He feels that it was morning, but then he's woken up in the morning, but he's, without notice, fallen asleep again. Maybe it's Kimika trying to drug us, I don't know, but basically, the entirety of the last day has passed here. Oh shit, I think I might have forgotten something. Never mind. Right. Funny that they collapse, that's ironic. Kimika, the holy water. What? Right, I'll sprinkle lots of LSD on them at the end. And the stimulants, what the fuck? No, you didn't. I think it's just really funny to think about the fact that Takuji is... I think this is the genius of Subarashiki. It is so easy for the delusional approach to totally deceive the logic that you should have. You should have the logic to think, oh wow, him healing Nishimura, that's just a con. But no, because you're so taken up by the confusion of what is real and what is not, you believe in the supernatural, and that's what I love about stories like these. How they play with your mind. But now we are totally seeing the tools of the trade, all of the secrets that are being unfolded. Oh, I misspoke. That's right, that's right. I kind of wonder, what was she trying to accomplish? I totally agree, yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, I feel like she only went along with what I was doing to accomplish her own objective. Yeah, me too. Yeah. What a strange woman. But the only thing is, what are her own objectives? The fuck? No, wait, why is my keyboard making this sound? That's really weird. My keyboard has never made those unpleasant noises from friction. That's weird. What a strange woman. Well, it doesn't matter. Oh, Jesus, we're going to have the most drug-induced finale possible. We'll give them a ton of it for the finale. Oh, I'm getting pumped up. Isn't it interesting to think about the fact that she has total power and she has a ridiculous amount of drugs? Let's be honest here. They have stolen a ton, and now they are doing the worst possible actions they can with the drugs. Oh, I'm getting pumped up. Right, everyone was gathered. How many people are there? And when did they all get here? Agreed, yeah. This ambience is a bit odd. I don't like it. It's scary. Like, seriously, I don't know what it is about this ambience, but there's just something that's unnerving about it. This ambience is terrifying. It looks like they were having a lot of fun. Well, the ambience doesn't make it sound like that. Well, of course, they're on drugs. All of them. Yeah, like they're all excited for something. I wonder if the arc is fun. I thought salvation would be a more solemn affair. Yeah, and it's interesting to think about the fact that nobody is taking the delusions as seriously as Takuji is. But then again, this is the weirdest thing. They genuinely happen. Tsui no Sora is a thing that actually exists. I thought salvation would be a more solemn affair. I thought saving people would be more serious. I'm sure it should have felt more religious. Yeah, that is interesting. He probably thought he was going to be able to reenact Jesus-related scenario. Seriously. But in reality, it's like this. Yeah. But it's as if they've been reunited together. But also drugs, let's be honest here. I gather them all through fear. They all came here out of fear for the curse. They gathered to escape their fear of death. So why are they having so much fun? Returning to the sky. It truly is something wonderful, but it should be more religious, more serious. But instead everybody is laughing. Yeah, and they have, but to be fair, they may be on drugs. I mean, what Kimika said, it was really quite ironic because, yeah, wait, no, hang on a second. Yeah, you're going to totally drug them. But that implies that she doesn't believe anything that Takuji is saying. And she obviously doesn't believe in any of his bullshit about literally being able to manipulate the laws of chemistry. Interesting that she's so desperate for Takuji's company, by the way. Can I just mention that? Frolicking. The world's final day is coming. Yeah. Everybody is celebrating. I spoke of the three monsters born of the gods, of the great wolf, Fenrir, who is human lust itself. Yeah, totally. I see that. Of the god of death, Hel, who is human fear of death itself. I see that, yeah. And of Jormungandr, significant of eternity, who will awaken on the world's final day. So that's going to be really interesting. I wonder if any of this ties into reality. It won't, but to be fair, we can only know that when we get there. Everybody listened eagerly. Like children reading a picture book, they eagerly listened to the story of the world's final day. Rather than fear, it was enthusiasm I saw in their eyes. Rather than quivering, laughter. That's totally weird. Rather than despair, amusement. They all seem so... Is this because of drugs and Kimika? Or is it because of something else? They all seem so happy. They all seem so eager. Laughing and screaming. I yelled. Dance. My god, we've got a really quite intense theme here. Dance. Oh wow, my god, there is everybody. I've got a hand. Kimika. Is that... Oh, Kimika again. Ironic. With the melody. Dance. The world is words. God is melody. Oh my god, yeah, I remember everything that was going on yesterday. Just about the overall destruction of everything that was keeping the building within the restraints of where it was. And oh, I've just realized something genius. Yeah, you're destroying all of the things that keep the rooftop from reaching the sky, that restrain the rooftop to reality. You get away from reality, and the more you do it, the more of a beautiful melody that plays. I think it implies escapism and a real desire for it. Maybe from Kimika, definitely. I don't really know. I don't think to be honest, Takeji's real desires are hard to tell. He wants to return the world to the sky, but after that, he doesn't really have any plans. God is melody. Well, he's gonna suicide, let's be honest, but still. We have no need for the world. Yeah. We need only the melody. That is interesting. Wow, we've got everybody dancing here. God, what a CG. Yeah, funny that oh my god, that's fucking Yasuko. Oh, Jesus. Everybody dance. Joyfully dance. Dance as if mad. Or maybe on drugs. This is a really weirdly drawn CG, by the way. I like it. Very odd colouring. So unusual, the art in this visual novel. There was no trace of gravity or solemnity. I thought once more about whether I had anything left to do here. I mean, even if you wanted to do a speech, I get that everybody would enthusiastically and with a fascinating demeanour listen to your words. But at the same time, is there really any point if this is what's going on? Nothing. There's nothing for me to do here. Oh my god, he should dance as well. I haven't forgotten anything. One more spoke. We have the melody, do we not? The melody is here. So we have no need for the world. We have no need for words. There's nothing we've forgotten. After all, we've forgotten it. Oh fuck, that's weird. The bell rang. Today began. Shit! That's really unusual. July the 19th. Oh, Ayana's back, kind of. And isn't it interesting? This was how Ayana was at the beginning of the day, ironically. Oh, look at the stars in the sky. Not only the stars in the sky, but the really quite unusual nature of them as well. There's so many of them, even though there are clouds, and also the fact that it's not the darkest. Weird. Hold up a sec. Was soundtrack is so calming. I really like it. It always has been, to be honest. It's visual novel Ost for you, to be honest. That's visual novel, not a novel Ost in a nutshell. Really, really calming. But isn't that interesting what Takuji does? You know, they're listening, it's as if they're kids in a picture book and they're eagerly listening to every single word, every single story that they can they are consuming with enthusiasm and happiness and laughter. And what Takagi does, he feels as if the day should be celebrated with severity and solemnity, but at the same time, the more he goes into it, the more he realizes that no, it's a better idea just, I mean, even if he doesn't want to celebrate the day with, well, he wants to celebrate the day with more religious and serious outcome. His followers don't, and ultimately, he is trying to please his followers the most, I suppose. Well, no, not really. I mean, he's using his followers to suppress his desires, really. So I think it's likely to say that... Well, no. So you could be indirectly pleasing yourself, because if you ask somebody to do something... Oh my god, I've got a really good example with... Right, okay, Happy Sugar Life spoilers, but I'm reading the manga at the moment. I'm at a part where this really creepy girl called Su, she basically is insecure, so she tries to completely copy a person, like a properly obsessed and creepy way. She tries to copy the person she looks up to in every single manner, and then obviously she tries to get Sato's address, and that's where she goes. That's where she latches on. So what she does is she tries to make it so that Su-chan is falsely thinking about herself. Falsely thinking about the fact that she's a good person and she doesn't need to do this and she's better the way she is. So that Sato can be safe from her address. So she doesn't give a fuck about Su-chan. She doesn't care about her health. It's just she's doing that so that her own desires can be fulfilled, because she's a pedo basically, and she has an addiction to obviously make her life able to be lived and not get caught by anybody. She is a pedo, but yeah, that's why the story is such a challenging read, to be honest. But yeah. It's similar to this, because maybe he doesn't give a shit about his followers, he just cares about using them in order to increase his desires and his feelings of satisfaction, which then grow. Yeah, he says that he has lust, that human beings have lust. I get that he thinks he's above everybody, but like Kagami and Ayana, in that argument with them, he knows nothing. He knows nothing. Funny that Kagami and Tsukasa have disappeared the second we went from school, by the way. Also, when Ayana disappeared, I feel like they did. Well, no. That last conversation with Kagami and Tsukasa was... Well, there was nothing after that argument when Ayana was there as well. That's really weird. That is interesting. I mean, I do kind of see that in a way, because the world is just... If you think about it, the world, without emotions, it's just objects. All of it, they're just objects. But it's because obviously we have emotions, so we place meaning in objects. And people as well. That's why we're human beings. But like, yeah, I suppose in a sense it's saying you have no need for the things that are around you, you just need what unites others as human beings, really. Interesting that he's relaying Kimika's thoughts. I wonder if everyone can see it.
見えるんだろう。だからみんなはしゃいでる。そういうことだ。
Yeah, they can. That's why they're all so cheerful. They have to see it. Yeah, I stood under the final sky. It already seemed like I could reach out and touch it. I'd come to a place where it seemed like my outstretched hand was mere inches from the edge of the universe. That's why they were all celebrating. I mean, that's obviously metaphorical, but at the same time, his outstretched hand, the one who is looking for the end of this incomplete and horrible reality, well, he's so close to it. Or at least that's what he believes. That's why they were all celebrating. Jumping around on the roof. Wow. They were celebrating the last sky in this world. Yeah, just don't be like Tsubasa, alright? The world will end. So we're all going to return to the sky. Yeah. And isn't it interesting? This is so characterised by the fact that, yeah, a little bit of LSD, a little bit of quote-unquote holy water sprinkled onto all of these people and ingested into their systems. So we're all going to return to the sky. Return to the last sky in the world. The light from all the stars in the sky rained down on us. How many millions, how many billions of years ago was the light that's illuminating us now emitted? It's a very interesting thought. And I do find it really interesting. Is this Kimika or Takuji's POV? I think it's Kimika's. No, I think it's Takuji's. No, I think it is Takuji's. But he's been really, really inspired by the thoughts that Kimika has had and that she has vocalised. And he is really taking in her messages, really. The light was born in the distant past so that it could illuminate us. It travelled for billions of years just to deliver us. Like, I know it's just such a... It's such a pointless cause, if you ask me. I mean, obviously light is being delivered. We can see something beautiful. But that's it. And it's just funny to think about the fact that light travels so much. And I suppose if you think of everything as an entity, it does so much for us. And yet we do so little for it. But what can we do? I get that. But still, it's just a funny little thought. That's something worth celebrating. Yeah, I totally agree. The last sky. I mean, even if it isn't the Tsui no Sora, it is. We stood at the edge of the universe. The place called Tsui no Sora.
ねえねえ、あれってみんな同じものが見えるんですか？それとも違うんですか？対の空ってみんなにどう見えるんですか？
Hey, does it look like the same thing to everyone? Or is it different? How does the end sky look?
ちなみにお前には何が見える？
What does it look like to you?
なんか打ち上げ花火。
God, yeah, it's like fireworks in the sky.
なんだそりゃ。それ昨日見たアンハッピ
It
ー
was,
セッ
yeah.
トのおまけじゃないか。
Oh yeah, that's funny. It wasn't that what came in the unhappy meal you saw yesterday?
そうなんですよ。だから対の空って大層な名前の分際で僕のメニューのおまけ程度の存在なんですか？安っ。
God. Gotta love a thing called copyright. That's right. That's why I think the end sky is just some cheap piece of crap like the toys they give away at McDonald's. I've never had a McDonald's toy, but I can imagine it.
そりゃお前が安い女だから。
Oh my god, that's
そんな安い
hilarious.
対の空が見えるんだよ。
You're a cheap woman, that's why you see such a cheap end
うわ、
sky.
ひどい。最後に救世主様がひどいこと言う。
Whoa, that's cruel. You're such a meanie, my savior.
まあでも花火なんて綺麗でいいじゃんか。よかったな、キミカ。
Well, fireworks are really beautiful, so that's okay. yeah. No, that's ironic. Don't you think so, Kimika? I think it was really quite funny to think about the fact that Takeji was just really pointing out the fact that he didn't approve of the fact that Kimika not only didn't see the value and, like he said, the religious importance and just in general all importance of the end sky, and yeah, instead she saw cheapness and she didn't really see any value. But then Takeji, even though it directly goes against this belief, he is still trying to imagine everything from her shoes, I suppose, and trying to imagine the value of what she is saying delivers. If that makes sense. I hope it does. I don't feel I explained that the best, but yeah. I tried my hardest. That's always the excuse I'll give. I tried my hardest. Well, fireworks are really beautiful, so that's okay. Don't you think so, Kimika?
よかったです。ハッピーセットに大感謝ですよ。
Yeah, it's great. Thanks for the fireworks, unhappy meal. Right, everyone. God, she really is in euphoria. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Another shot of... What is it with these CGs? And just trying to expose... Well, let's just say this blurred area where my mouse is. I don't really feel comfortable with showing that, but... Jesus, it's so unnecessary. They just really try to make it... they're just trying to make it... just... as arousing as possible for the readers, maybe. I don't know. Kimika yelled out to the crowd. Isn't it funny to think about the fact that everybody's listening to Kimika and Takeji, yeah, he's just standing there. He looks depressed. And if anything, he looks really tired, ironically. But that is what the Tsui no Sora is. It kind of reminds me of work, in a way. You work so hard, you do everything that you possibly can to support yourself and support your dreams, and then it's over. Everybody looked at Kimika. Can you all see the end sky? Can you see it? God, I mean, why is somebody like this so emotionally invested? It's so hard to tell. Do you want to go there? Yeah, I think they do. Whoa, they're all so excited. Agreed, yeah. Now then, this is my final question for you all. What does the end sky look like to you? Oh god, there's a discussion. Everybody screamed at the same time, so I couldn't hear a thing. Jeez, what's she doing? They all talked about their own end sky, one after another. Every one of them yelled at the top of their lungs. It really is like a total party, yeah. And isn't it interesting to think about the fact that the end sky is entirely open to interpretation? I mean, somebody like Kimika, she sees a beautiful sky, obviously. Everybody's going to see a beautiful sky, but how people interpret the beauty that is the end of the world and the end of everything, it's odd. It really is. She sounds so much like Nena there. Really? Wow. I couldn't really understand any of that. But I could tell by your enthusiasm. I understand perfectly. You don't understand what they are saying. You don't understand the interpretations. But at the same time, that is something that... it's just an abstract detail. You don't need to. Because you know that they have the same enthusiasm and energy as you. I see that. Jesus Christ, you can tell somebody's been on the helium. This is the last sky. Kimika yelled back to the crowd. Right beside me, so joyfully. Yeah, man, you've got to be careful of Kimika because she is quite literally taking your job away. But the thing is, the savior, what the savior is meant to do is appeal to the crowd the most. And it's just so interesting that, let's be honest here, the reason they are so filled with euphoria is because of drugs. That's why they've had this change in personality, and they are not able to see any of the fear. I get that the fear was complete nonsense that they were perceiving, but at the same time they were still perceiving the fear, so they're still missing out on... Well, they're still having a lack of sense of danger. I get that their sense of danger isn't correct, but it's still danger. And they're still missing this danger from drugs, if you ask me. I hope that makes sense. Right beside me, so joyfully. Oh my god. Alright, destroy that fence. Holy fuck. Kimika picked up a mallet. God. This really is nuts. Somebody trying to flex off their six-pack to all the women around them? No, I said nothing. Well, to be fair, you've worked hard for it. Flex it, I suppose. I don't know. And then several others wave their mallets over their heads. Miracle mallet. Get a miracle mallet. That'll be funny. That stupid woman. She brought mallets too. Or maybe she made the believers gather them. Yeah, it could be both, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised at any outcome. Actually, now that I look, it seems like someone got hit with one of those. What? There's so much blood. What the fuck? What a silly ritual. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, totally. Jesus Christ. I just find it so funny that this is something that is so celebratory, and funnily enough, we are seeing this from such a different interpretation to how we saw it in Chapter 2. In Chapter 2, it was fear, unknown, and it was awful. It was all evil. This is in the unknown, but at the same time, we're treating this from the perspective of omniscient characters. And people who fully have an idea of what this delusion is. And yet there is still so much that is disguised as hostility, but look at this, it's just something that is terrible that is happening. So you have so much hostility that's kind of enveloped within, if you get what I mean. I see that reinforcement of the ideas that the world doesn't matter, and if anything, other people don't matter. It's just the melody that is produced that matters. And that's kind of like the case here. I mean, the melody is what creates everything, I suppose. The melody is the reason these people have been able to get so many believers. Yeah, isn't that interesting? I mean, this is nuts. I can't believe that somebody has gotten hits with the mallet. I just wonder what has happened in order to enable that to occur. I mean, it's ridiculous. thought I told you this was supposed to be a solemn occasion.
やったもん勝ちですよ救世主様
You were too slow, my saviour.
ったくまたこんなどんちゃん騒ぎ。
Yeah, jeez. They're making a mess of the whole thing.
いいじゃないですかほらみんなあんな楽しそうですよ
I do totally see that, yeah. Isn't it better this way? Look, they're all having so much fun. I mean, if you have a serious situation that could potentially be really, really awful and life-changing, are you going to be really scared of the future and scared of how your fate is going to change? Or are you going to be... I suppose you're going to embrace it. That's what these people were doing. They're embracing change and... Okay, they're high. They probably wouldn't be if they weren't. But still, I mean... They are embracing change, even if they are high. That is kind of what they're doing. So, I don't really know. To be honest, my argument's kind of made invalid because these people aren't of sound mind. Isn't it? Or at least I don't think they are, that's my opinion. Isn't it better this way? Look, they're all having so much fun.
まあ楽しそうだな。
I guess they are.
どうでもいいけど。お前、
I see that, yeah.
救世主の仕事取りすぎ。返せよ。
Not like I care, but you're taking over too many of my responsibilities. Knock it off.
大丈夫ですよ最後の締めは
Ooh.
救世主様にお任せする予定ですから
It'll be okay. I'm gonna leave the finale to you, Kyusei-sama.
すごい。
Believer.
ものすごく大きい十字架。
These are the different interpretations of how the Tsui no Sora looks. So it's interesting, Yuki's interpretation, it was so different to everything that we were seeing here. And it's odd to think about the fact that the Tsui no Sora is... It's just completely down to interpretation. A colossal
私
cross.
にはすごく大きな扉に見える
It looks like a huge door. Okay, Toho 16 fan.
俺は鍵と鍵穴が
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah. I see a key in a keyhole. You have the keyhole. You're going to put the key in the keyhole. And that's going to open a door to a world that you would have never expected. Or death, one of the two, but okay. I see a key in a keyhole. They all try to put what they saw in the final sky and... In the final sky? In the end sky, surely? Into words. The world's last sky. How does it appear to them? The world's final scene. The world's final words. People dancing. People fighting. It is interesting that not everybody's happy and not everybody follows this pattern. There is still an indication of contradiction. People laughing. I love that that's just put under such a positive light. Yeah, people happily destroying the building here under the sky. People already covered in blood. I love how sick this is. They've done a properly good job of just making, normalizing things that sound so ridiculously bad. The sky peering down on us from overhead. A dark blue sky. Absent the light of the stars. Pressed down on us from above. A beautiful night sky. Oh my god, fireworks. Someone set off fireworks. Let me guess, they didn't have a license. They probably didn't, let's be honest. I mean, these guys are literal kids after all. Okay, they're my age, but still. Well, not all of them are. I can't imagine Yasuko to be anything, like for example Yasuko to be anything more than 16, to be honest. I don't know. But they're near my age if they're not my age. I don't know. For some reason, a spark caused a pillar of flame to bellow up from the ground. What? Someone brought a can of gasoline. Some idiot must have brought gasoline from the generator up here. A pillar of flame on the rooftop. A huge pillar of flame. Several people got caught in the flames and burnt alive. Even with the drugs, isn't that interesting? He realizes that these people were drugged and he treats all of the happiness and the celebration and the euphoria and obviously the loss of rationality, the destruction. He associates it as if it's a genuine emotion, if you ask me at least. Even with the drugs, that must have hurt. They are burns all over that fucking hell. Yeah, it is! To an outsider, this site would look like a peek into hell itself. Agreed, yeah, it's just totally backward. No matter where you look at it, it is backward. Why are they having fun at the end of the world? Why is there not a remote fear of unease? Well, drugs, but like, why else? Yeah, why are they all having so much fun in this hell? This is the last sky. The sky of the end. Looking out from their eyes, what does this final sky look like? It's totally open to interpretation. Fireworks. That's what Kimika said. Fireworks, huh? It's a pretty good answer. She's right. The sky does look like it's full of fireworks. The stars twinkled in the sky. Yeah, and it's so interesting because you have fixed objects and they take it's just such a creative, well, it's such a good place for a creative mind because they take the form of anything you create within your head. They twinkle like embers of a skyrocket in blue. This is the limit. The sky where all duality comes to an end. And thus, we looked up at the sky that had taken on the light of the fireworks. Oh shit. Ooh. Now the party is in full swing. I'll leave the rest to our one and only saviour. God, he's everyone's idol. Your one and only saviour. Yeah, just put words into their mouth. Yeah, nice one. This is the finale, so make sure you listen closely. yeah, fair enough. You're the one who's not listening to me. Agreed, yeah, this is a mysterious night. And not like any other, and yet completely different. But this is most certainly the last stop. This place, where we're standing right now, this is the last. So the way forward is simple. We can go at any time. We can move forward at any time. Let's take that step from this spot, from the final sky. Take that step. Alright, my saviour, I guess this is it. Kimika? Why? Kimika was about to jump, but I stopped her. You're last. What? Wait,
ちょっと立花の分際で私の先行くとかねえだろ
No, wait, I'm not letting Tachibana go before me. Oh, you social... social? Sorry, selfish arsehole. Yeah, no way, I'm not letting Tachibana go before me.
私が最初だ
Yeah, look at the human desire. Lust, never ending, I'm first. This is weird. People flying through the sky. People returning to the sky. At the edge of the world, the people headed towards the sky. They extended their out arms wider and wider, like they were trying to grab onto the world itself. The people went to the sky. Some of them said their farewells to me before they went. Yeah, no, totally, yeah, but most of them were taken by passion. They went screaming and jumping into the sky as soon as they could. This is really odd. I can't believe this. Yeah, it's... Yeah, God, isn't it funny to think about the fact that people have... They have pure desire. They have pure desire. They're so stimulated by this desire. They're really, really not themselves just because of not only does the desire to go to a new world and to leave this world because of the fact that everything is going to end, to have a peaceful death, if anything. But, yeah, to go to the next one. And it's interesting how that desire and the drugs, they totally make it so that people lose any sense of thought. Like Takaji was saying, most of them just go. They don't even thank the person who has got them into this ridiculously delusional state, so much so that... Well, yeah, I mean, isn't it interesting that people were jumping off? They feel as if they're going to go to the end sky. Maybe this in reality, there is no end sky, and maybe this is just a really bad serial suicide. To be honest, I mean, if these people wanted to commit murder, they would be doing a fucking good job. They really would be. But they're not, that's the funniest thing. Well, they kind of are, but you get what I mean. I mean, isn't it interesting that Kimika wanted to suicide for... Well, not suicide, actually. Go to the end sky. She wanted to be the first one there. I wonder why. Maybe it's just another reinforcement of the idea of escapism. Where is Ayana, by the way? And Yuki? but most of them were taken by passion, and they went screaming and jumping into the sky as soon as they could. They screamed. Yeah. They screamed. Meaningless words. Truly meaningless words. Yeah, but of course they would be, yeah. Today feels especially good. Especially comfortable. A cool breeze. A beautiful blue. Yeah, I see that. And especially with reflection. Well, especially with all of the sun, all of the stars being present as well. That must really make a nice piece of scenery there. A beautiful blue. A world of light. God, yeah, there's another part of just how dark this is concealed in. Yeah, someone once said that. An incredible number of people jumped the smashed fence and flew into the sky. Flew? Really? God. Oh my god. Yeah, there were some people who had been injured or burned too badly to move, but others picked them up and threw them into the sky. They too were sucked into the great blue sky. Even the people that couldn't move, the ones that had no choice. Oh shit. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. Right, I'm tired, so I'm gonna just go to sleep for a second. Like, literally, I intend to sleep for an hour and 41 minutes. Right, see you. Actually, no, maybe an hour and 39. But, yeah, you get what I mean. Not much time. Right, okay, I'm back. Just gotta move my microphone. Right, there we are, that should be fine. Okay. Yeah, so basically I overslept by 2 hours. That means it's 2 AM right now, which fucking pisses me off. But, yeah. I'll still do what I wanted to do at midnight. I.e. read this because it seems really quite, like, it really has potential to become interesting. If you don't know, I'm kind of mad when it comes to VNs because whenever I'm too tired to read something, like I was yesterday, I don't go to bed like a normal person. I go to bed for a tiny bit of time, and then I wake up again, and then I read, and then I go to bed. So, yeah, here we go. But, yeah, seriously, this seems so awful because people in their deluded and irrational state of minds have thought, oh yes, the end of the sky is here, the world is coming to an end. Do they have any proof the world's coming to an end? No. Do they have any genuine knowledge of what Saviour is saying is true? No. And yet these people have still done it. They have all basically just deludedly suicided. And obviously now we have an explanation as to why the fences are like this. We don't, unfortunately, at the moment, have an explanation of what happened to Kagami. But at the same time, I mean, that may happen in the other ending, because this is the alternate ending here. Before I knew it, the commotion had disappeared. The great clamour turned into unbroken. I know, it's unbelievable. After such a big celebration. On my favourite after party, the one where everybody's fucking dead. That's basically what's happening here. The great clamour turned into unbroken silence. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Before I knew it, only Kimika and I stood on the rooftop. I can't believe that Kimika tried to do it first. She was the first one who nearly suicided. I embraced Kimika on the desolate rooftop. I really do wonder if we're going to learn about Kimika's true intentions here. I'm happy that I can hold your hand at the end.
これはまずいですよ。
But this isn't good.
何が？
What isn't?
私にはハッピーが与えられちゃいけないんですよ。
I don't deserve happiness. I don't know whatever's happening with Kimika, but she definitely has some sort of, well, I don't know, persecution complex, or she just self-deprecates a lot, it seems. I don't deserve happiness.
私にはアンハッピーだけが与えられるべきなんです。でも私
I only deserve unhappiness, but Kimika disentangled her hand from mine.
救世主様はここまでです。
I'm a savior, this is it.
何？
What?
ここからは最後の一人は私で終わりです。
Once I die, it will all be over.
どういうことだ？
What will be over? Yeah, what do you mean?
私ですね。最初救世主様の計画を知らなくて、
What's why? What?
この大掛かりな計画を止めようとしたんですよ。
Before I knew about what you had planned, I tried to stop your grand plan.
計画？
Plan?
そうです。全く理解してなくてごめんなさい。
That's right. I'm sorry that I didn't understand.
どういうことだ？
That's really unusual. What are you talking about?
私ですね。救世主様。
It should have been me, my savior.
絶対に死ぬべき人間なんです。
I'm the one who absolutely has to die.
高いところから落ちてぐちゃぐちゃになって
Jesus Christ.
死ななければならないんです。
I have to fall from a high place and splatter myself all over the ground and die. Kimika is such a weird character. I mean, I just genuinely don't understand why you would feel so bad about yourself and so awful about whatever you've done that you feel something like this is deserved and something like this is something you have to go through.
そうなんです。私は死ななければならなかった。絶対に死ななければならない。
Jesus
もちろん
Christ.
自らの手で自らの命を絶たなければならない。
That's right, I should have died. I have to die, and of course, I have to end my life of my own hand. This is just genuinely so weird, though. I mean, interesting that she tried to intercept our plan, which, if you ask me, feels really contradictory. I mean, I don't understand why. Why is it the case that she was spreading rumours about the incident before she even joined to us? Before she even joined us, if it's the case that all she wanted to do was intercept the entirety of our plans, it feels kind of contradictory. I mean, but maybe by sharing rumours about everything that's going on regarding Takuji and the end of the world and anything that's happening regarding Zakudo's suicide, maybe it's the case that she felt as if maybe because Takuji's not the only one spreading the rumours significantly, people won't have as much of a followage to him. But the only thing is, I don't really understand why Kimika is doing any of this. I mean, I get that she has a connection to Zakudo, but maybe it's the guilt from bullying Zakudo. It's hard to tell, actually. I see this. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I don't think Takuji's fast could have been maintained without Kimika nearly as well as it was. Yeah, so she stopped what she didn't understand. I wonder why. god. It's just scary in a way to see just how much of a ridiculous hatred she has towards herself. With your own hands.
はい。だって私裏切りました。ザクロを裏切ったんです。
But then again, you were the person who also spread rumours about... I can't remember if it was about the end of the world on July the 20th or if it was about her death. But maybe she did that because of the fact that she wanted to have a way of saying sorry to her. This was the rumour that she had posted on the day she died. So maybe Kimika felt as if spreading the information that she was trying to distribute is maybe something that could have been done as an action of respect, maybe? Because I betrayed her. I betrayed Zakudou.
彼女は私に話しかけてきてくれたのに、私は彼女を裏切りました。
Interesting. Yeah, she tried to talk to me, but I betrayed her. Yeah, that's totally reasonable, yeah.
それは知っている。
That's interesting, yeah, I know.
でも、正直、裏切った私を彼女が、
Yeah.
なぜか彼女がいつまでも恨まないこと、それが実は許せませんでした。
I will never understand everything that's happened with regards to Zakudou. I will never understand why it was the case that she had completely just started not talking to Takeji out of fear. But maybe that's because of how bullied she was. Maybe it was because, I mean, this is the worst thing to imagine, but maybe she's so bullied that after seeing a genuine relationship with a boy that she may have, maybe that just totally scared her so much that she didn't want to ever have it. And sadly, Takeji didn't have the strength then to ask Zakudou what was the matter, so nothing ever happened. And yeah, obviously we had the worst case scenario. But honestly, even after I betrayed her, she never hated me. I couldn't forgive her for that.
いつも出た人と同じぐらい、いやそれ以上に、なぜかそれがとても許せなかった。
As much as the girls who bullied us, no, even more than them, I couldn't forgive her.
なんでこの人は私を恨まないんだろう。
Yeah, no, I see that.
復讐しないんだろう。
So I suppose Zakudou was so kind to Kimika that it was a case that she had never really... Well, Zakudou was so kind to Kimika that Kimika just feels surprised, and I think she has a way that she feels will define how all human beings will act. The second somebody breaks that code, i.e. Zakudou, she's also very, very different as well. Why didn't she hate me? Why didn't she ever want to get revenge?
なんだろう。なんでだろう。なんで恨まないの？なんで罵らないの？なんで私に微笑むの？
What made her do that? Why wouldn't she hate me? Why didn't she curse me? Why did she smile at me? Yeah, no. Even... So hang on a second. So she's saying that even after that betrayal with regards to the doll happened, she smiled at her. So to be honest, I thought at first that Kimika was potentially a really bad bully who had only tried to become friends with Zakudou so that the bullying could have worse of an impact. But no. This is the worst thing. Oh, she's really, really multi-sided, to be honest. She tried to be friends with Zakudou, but then she just couldn't appreciate the fact that she's just acting so differently to how anybody else who's bullied would expect. And that's just wrong for her. I can see her thought process. Maybe...
そう考えると、もういても立ってもいられないぐらいイライラして。
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so it's jealousy from happiness.
イライラしました。
Just thinking about that made me so mad that I couldn't take it. She annoyed me so much I couldn't stand it.
メグとかサトコとかどうでもよかったんです。
Yeah, fair.
本当にどうでもよかった。
Well, to be fair, the thing is about this, ironically, Megu and Satoko are dead now. But yeah, I don't give two shits about Megu or Satoko. I couldn't care less if they died.
私にとってはザクロだけが大きな存在でした。
Yeah, totally.
ザクロ、ずっと私を恨まず、
Yeah.
ずっと私に微笑みかけてて、それが私には許せなくて苦しかった。
To me, only Zakudou mattered. She was the most important figure in my life. She never hated me, she always smiled at me, and I couldn't forgive her for that. It was so hard. No, I can totally see this. I mean, it's just such an interesting little relationship they have here. I mean, Kimika is also, she's at first, she tried to be kind to Zakudou, especially because Zakudou was somebody in her shoes. I mean, she even made that doll for her, but the only thing is then she betrays Zakudou and she betrays all of her trust and she betrays everything she stood for by just out of pure stress throwing that doll over the roof. And then Zakudou, even after that, even after by trying to get the doll, she breaks bones, she goes to hospital. I mean, even after that, she still has somehow the ability to not only smile and comfort Kimika. It's really interesting that. But the thing is, Kimika would always go along with Megu and Satoko's doings just simply because of the fact that she was scared of them, and that fear, if you ask me, led to the decline of her as a person. Yeah, she was the most important figure in my life, and it's just horrible to think about the fact that, to be honest, Subarashiki is one of those stories where the worst case scenario happens every single time. Because let's be honest, Zakudou kind of is the main character of Subarashiki. Actually, maybe not. I don't know how you differ. A main character and a character the entire story is centered on. Because let's be honest, I mean, what would this story be without Zakudou? Yeah, you couldn't forgive her for that. And I suppose, I mean, this is total regret. It's good that she sees regret in her actions rather than seeing, I don't know, for example, well, let's just flip that around, rather than a lack of regret. But yeah, it's just awful that she sees it now and not when Zakudou was alive. Maybe she could have been the one who had, oh god, that's a horrible thought. Maybe had she been acting better, could she have prevented Zakudou's suicide? I wanted to kill her. Jesus.
だから彼女が死んで呪いが発生した時にすごく喜んだんです。
I can really see why someone like this would not only... I mean, it all fits. When we first saw Kimika and how scared she was of Zakudou's curse, fits. And, yeah, this is interesting. Yeah. This totally explains why she has such a ridiculous amount of guilt now. So when she died and the curse reared its head, I was incredibly happy. This is so fucked. I mean, you know somebody for being so kind and so remarkably kind, and yet you are happy at them dying just because of the fact that, let's be honest, she made her jealous. That's all the reason is. So when she died and the curse reared its head, I was incredibly happy. Yeah, this is awful. Yeah, it makes sense when she realises how wrong this is, I'd assume, and that's what happens. But yeah, it makes sense as to why she's this sad. Yeah, I was so happy.
くら怒ったんだ。恨んでくれたんだ。
What? Oh, Zakudor finally got mad at me. She finally hates me.
やっとちゃんと私を見てくれるんだって。
Now she can actually see me for what I am.
やっと人として見てくれるんだって。
Now she's finally seeing me as human.
高みから見下ろすのではなく、ちゃんと同じ目線に立ってくれたんだって。
Not looking down on me from upon high, but instead standing next to me. Looking at her, I see. Takashima Zakudor certainly did save Tachibana Kimika from persecution. I heard that Zakudor was... Yeah, exactly, yeah. I heard that Zakudor was bullied in her place. God, isn't it insane to think about how much bullies can cause? I mean, let's be honest, if there were no bullies here and if there was no emotional conflict at all, there would be none of this. It's all because of bullies, and in this story it's horrible because bullies disrupt everything. I mean, look at how ridiculously traumatised Takuji... Well, not, to be honest, he wasn't actually too traumatised, but just how much stuff like that affected him. That's why it felt so good to see Yuki get a taste of his own medicine. I heard that Zakudor was bullied in her place. Yeah, but to Kimika it's not like that. To Kimika, who was ignored while Zakudor was bullied, it was an unforgivable act of betrayal. Yeah, no, I totally see this, because Zakudor has sacrificed everything. She sacrificed her happiness, her emotions, just in general, anything that she can, it's all been sacrificed. For Kimika. She's done so much for her by, well, shouldering the act of bullying and preventing it from happening to Kimika. To Kimika, who was ignored while Zakudor was bullied, it was an unforgivable act of betrayal. Yeah. It was the same as ignoring her own existence. That's reasonable. Yeah, since Takashima Zakudor refused to face Tachibana directly, she could never have been Tachibana's friend. For Tachibana, their relationship wasn't one between two. Yeah, but wasn't one between two equals because Takashima refused to get angry or hate her. Yeah, no, it's so surprising. Yeah, Takashima-san's goodwill must have weighed more heavily on her shoulders than any insult. Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah, no. Yeah, I knew it. I was literally thinking of that quote, yeah. Sometimes good intentions can cause far more evil than bad ones. Yeah, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah, Kimika, you are definitely a good example of somebody who has quite literally gone down to hell to seek redemption for yourself. But what was her motive for joining this, I wonder? Because she did try to spread before she didn't understand what was going on here, she did try to spread the rumours, and she did try to... Well, I suppose she was trying to spread the rumours that disrespected Zakudor. But the only thing that I don't really get about all of this is partly stuff relating to Takuji. Some of it is just the people who have been bullied by Zakudor getting their backs on every person who has bullied her. But also at the same time, I mean... Takashima-san's good intentions must have seemed like haughty pride or pity. Yeah.
私ですね。子供の時からずっと謎だったんです。
You know, I've always wondered about something since I was a child.
ずっと 全然理解できなかったことがあるんですよ。
There's one thing I could just never, ever understand.
よく言うじゃないですか。罪を負った人間が死ぬのは逃げでしかないって。ちゃんと生きて償え。
Oh my god, that's interesting. So maybe when Kimika realised her sin of what she had done to Zakuro, she, instead of dying, she wanted to... Maybe this is her way of somehow making amends, driving all the people that bullied Zakuro and that ruined her life to suicide. Because let's be honest, there are so many people that are in this crowd that don't really have the intellect to think about what this genuinely is, and they're so brainwashed. Like Kiyokawa, but not Kiyokawa, obviously. Just similar to her in terms of how brainwashed they are. Haven't you heard people say that a person who dies after committing a grave sin is only running away? That they should live and pay back their debt to society? I do see that, yeah. And maybe by doing so, I mean, obviously, this is the thing about doing something bad. You will always have the weight on your shoulders about the fact that you have done something bad. But then again, if you try your hardest to pay it back to society, maybe you could find peace within yourself. Maybe you could find somebody who could help you. She looked to the sky and spat out those words under her breath.
何ですかそれ。
What's up with that?
私全然理解できないんです。生きて償え？相手が死んでるのにですか？
Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah, I don't understand at all. Live and pay it back. Even though the person you committed the sin against is dead. And yeah, totally. I mean, Zakuro is dead. It's an undeniable truth. The only thing is, I suppose no matter how much you live and no matter what you do, there's always going to be the fact that she's dead. What if the person is dead? How can you make recompense to the dead by living on in this life? Yeah. That's such an interesting way of putting it. I can totally see what she's saying, yeah. You have to look someone in the eyes before you can ever make amends. How should a living person look the dead in the eye? Yeah, and how can you look the dead in the eyes? And if anything, it's funny, if you looked... Well, it's not funny, it's just ironic that if you looked at Zakuro in the eyes, you would see something that is so distorted and damaged and just a lack of what a normal human being should be. Yeah. How could you do that? How could you... Well, you can't make amends with something that has been so insanely destroyed. Thanks to you, really. That's probably what she's thinking. And how can you look someone like Zakuro in the eyes after she's dead and you're a potential cause of it?
死者に対する償いは死者じゃなきゃできない。当たり前のことなんです。
Yeah, this is really bad because she's so obviously had. So I think this is what happened with Kimika. So firstly, when she was naive about Zakuro dying and she thought it was good, she was spreading the rumours that disrespected her. But then she joins Takuji because she is genuinely sad. I think everything that she was saying when Takuji had totally manipulated her, it was genuine in terms of the fear. Now I think that she joined Takuji's club in a way, his cult, just because of pure fear. I think fear has probably led her to do a lot of things she never would have normally done, especially the drug related stuff. But I suppose it's for revenge, and she took revenge in the most sick way. She really did.
昔は仇討ちは美徳とされてたじゃないですか。当たり前ですよね。
In the past,
殺された
revenge.
者の恨 手を殺すことでしか解決なんてするわけないんです。
In the past, revenge was seen as virtuous. The only way to satisfy a dead man's anger is to kill the person who killed him. Yeah.
それは当たり前のことなんです。
That's just common sense. Yeah, no, I totally see why Kimika would do this. Yeah, you think...
救世主様が言うところの嘘つきたちが隠してみんなにその真実を言わないだけなんです。
Or as you would put it, it's a truth that liars have hidden away from the world.
死は死によってしか償われないのです。
But the only thing is, I mean, why do you necessarily believe this? This is the worst thing about people like Kimika. Because of the fact that they've been bullied so much, they have such a lack of confidence. They have a lack of confidence in themselves. I mean... I understand that Kimika, with regards to everything that happened to Zakuro, there's a reason not to have much confidence in herself whatsoever, but I feel there's just absolutely no hope in making it so that she can make amends by... I mean, I see that she can only... To make amends, you need to look in the eyes of the person who you are making amends with, but the only thing is, I mean, I understand that might not be possible, but at the same time, I suppose doing things that you never would have done when they were alive, and the clear indication that you have changed, maybe that could make an amend. But the only thing is that makes an amends to you, because you have changed and you have realised how bad you are, not to the other person, because they're dead. And that's what's so tricky about this, because yeah, death can only be repaid with another death.
だから
Yeah,
だ
so
からザクロが死んだ日から償い方法は一つしかないんです。
so once Zakuro died, there was only one way to pay for my sins.
死です。
Death.
いじめた人間
Yeah, yeah.
それ以外にだって見て見ぬふりした大勢
This makes sense.
そいつら全員の死
So she spreaded the rumours and she helped do that. Well, hang on a sec. So I think she helped spread the rumours that disrespected her and disrespected her death, so that the people who bullied her could have fear and they could have revenge, and then the fear would obviously lead to people having less rational state of mind, and then that'd lead to more people going to Takuji, and then it would be the case that she'd be able to get her backs on them. But I don't think she knew about Takuji, so I think her only motive here was to stir up fear to the people who deserved it, the people who bullied her. But the only thing is, I mean, not everybody who read those messages had bullied her. Maybe she just developed a proper sense of anger, and she made it so that... I don't know, but yeah, the people who bullied her and all the people who saw it happening did nothing. All of them had to die. Yeah, the people who saw it happening. Okay, never mind.
それだけが正しい償い方法なんです。
That was the only true way for us to atone.
おかしいじゃないですか。
God, look at her eyes.
生きてる人間償いって何ですか？
Isn't that messed up? How can the living repay the dead? Yeah, but no, I see that. Can
心を
they?
入れ替えた？詫びる？再発を防ぐ？罪を問われればいじめてた人間はそんなこと簡単に誓いますよ。
It's interesting that Kimika feels as if when Zakudor's died, and obviously she's completely ended her life, that's the only time at which she can see Kimika for the disgusting person that she is. The person who, even though Zakudor has shown immense kindness that is just out of this world, to be honest, she's always been... Well, even though she has shown this immense kindness, it's also the case that she's been so damaged and bullied, and more damaged than Kimika has ever been. Yeah. But I suppose beforehand she saw her as something more than human. But the thing is, this is what nice people do. They see other people as people who are special and people who are significant. Yeah, no, I see that, and that's really interesting, because you get the impression that Kimika feels Zakudor was always meters above her in terms of just how she could cope with these situations, because she could cope with the situations so much that they didn't completely destroy her kindness, and they didn't destroy her will to do anything, which, let's be honest, that would be the case for a lot of people who were bullied. Yeah, but isn't it interesting, standing next to me, that just shows how little Kimika appreciates her. She is jealous, she's angry, she's mad about the fact that she can be this bullied, and yet at the same time she can be so happy. And because of the fact that she's dead, it's as if she's standing next to Kimika. Kimika has so low of a integrity to live on this world that she feels she's similar to a dead person. Yeah, no, I can also see why this is betrayal. Kimika is not getting bullied, Zakudor is. Kimika should be the one getting bullied, and because of the fact that Zakudor's shouldering what she should have to shoulder, it feels a bit wrong. I just think it's so horrible that bullies can cause something like this to happen. I mean, this is properly the worst you could get, but still, I mean, it's just sad that humanity can be so insanely cruel that something like this can actually be possible. I mean, none of this emotional pain, none of these mistakes would have occurred if other people didn't have bad home lives and they didn't take it out on other people. I mean, look at how many pieces of misfortune have been created because of Megu and Satoko. It's awful. Yeah, but no, it was always just the fact that Zakudor was so much better than her. I see that. No, I can kind of see what Kimika is saying here as well. If the person is dead thanks to your incompetence and your feeling of the fact that she is standing on a much higher ground than you, and you feel jealous, you feel angry, you feel you feel puzzled as to why she can be in such an awful situation and yet so happy, and it's awful. It really is. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts how this can be the case. This is the thing about the bullying, though. Zakuro has shouldered the bullying that Kimika normally would have received, so Kimika, she's probably feeling too relieved about the fact that she's not being bullied, so that there's no... She's feeling too relieved about getting bullied, so she doesn't feel like standing up for Zakuro, and that's just the saddest thing, that she didn't ever think of trying her hardest to help her. But that's the thing, she can't, because these bullies are too powerful. Yeah. Interesting that it's as if liars have hidden away truths like these in the world, but let's be honest, these probably are relevant to a lot of people. Some people really are unfortunate enough to have had someone who's died and have themselves, maybe they with mistake have been a cause to it, or maybe they could have done something to prevent it that they haven't, and then of course something like this may be the case that maybe it would be the case that you'd think something like this, but the thing is, this is a scenario that obviously killing somebody and then what you do after, it's obviously a very tricky thing to happen, but it's a very tricky thing to happen because there are a lot of circumstances that have to be true for it to occur. But the only thing is, I mean, it doesn't happen with everybody, and it's such a frowned upon subject that actual knowledge about people who have gone through stuff like this, it never comes to light, just because of the fact that it's on such a frowned upon subject, even though it is a surprisingly relevant issue to some. Yeah, but no, I totally see that. And what's also interesting about this is the fact that she feels as if more death and more of the tragedy that killed Zakudor happening to other people is the only thing that's appropriate. Because by having such guilt about the fact that you have completely betrayed Zakudor and, well, no, she has betrayed you actually, and obviously you, well, she hasn't betrayed her, Kimika's just perceived that to be the case. But, yeah, the feeling of betrayal, and then as a result of that, all of the jealousy, the anger, the cold talk that she had, and just in general the lack of ability to accept her for how kind she is and how much up above Kimika she really is. That's the only way she can do it, more murder. It is messed up, I totally agree. But the only thing is, repaying the debt is entirely based on your perception as well. So if you don't want to...
ずるいからいじめたりするんですもん。いろいろ怖いからいじめたりするんですもん。
They would just say they bullied her because the world was unfair. Yeah. Or they were scared about the future. Never justifies the bullying.
だから彼女たちは簡単に
God, look at her face.
もうしません。許してください。こんなことが二度と起こらないようにします。
So they would swear any oath you asked them to. Yeah, please forgive us. We swear this will never happen again. Yeah, I see that.
大嘘ですってば。
Liars, liars, fucking liars.
死だけなんですよ。当たり前じゃないですか。死に対するそれ相応の対価は死だけなんです。
Only death can repay the dead. That's obvious. The only thing that carries the same values as death is death. And this is the worst thing, because, I mean, obviously, you could change yourself, you could do anything in order to prevent something like this happening again, and you could obviously do as much as you could to honour the dead, but the only thing is, you'd always have the feeling of the fact that she has died, something as serious as death has happened, and yet it's also the case that you've never been able to fully make amends with it, because there are, I mean, the amount of guilt you must have from a situation like this, and especially because of how wrongly you have responded, you've responded with happiness instead of what should have been sadness and just regret. I mean, it does make sense. Death or living in guilt and constant suffering and anguish because of the fact that the person that is so important to you has died.
私も他の連中も全部死ななければならなかったんです。
My death and the death of all of the rest of them. We all have to die. Yeah.
彼女と同じか、それ以上にむごてらしい死に方で。
We have to die the same way she did, or if not a more gruesome death than hers. And I think it's just so awful to think about the fact that the guilt has crushed her so much. Let's be honest here, the guilt has totally crushed her here. But I think it's reasonable, it really is. And that makes it all the more, that just makes it worse. This is totally reasonable, and I can really see where she's coming from. Yeah, we have to die the same way she did, or if not a more gruesome death than hers. Yeah, and the only way, she just feels as if there is such a lack of ways out of this problem because of how awful she feels about not only how she has acted, but also how the worst case scenario has been present. She feels awful, so Of course, she feels there's no hope apart from death.
だからですね。
That's why
だから最初にネットであなたの存
I
在を知
really
った時、
wonder.
私は頭真っ白になりました。
When I first heard about you online, my mind went blank for a moment.
なんだこいつ。何様だこいつ。
Yeah,
救
totally.
世主
Who the fuck is this? Who does he think he is? The savior? The person who has the will to disrespectfully spread everything that is going on with regards to Zakuro. Yeah, who the fuck is this? Who does he think he is? The savior?
そんで会ってみたら、赤坂めぐと北見聡子の呪いを止める？ふざけるな。
So when I met with you, I asked, you think you can stop the curse? Don't fuck with me.
こいつは敵だ。ザクロの思いを消し去ろうとする悪魔なんだ。
No, I see that. So what made her... I'm assuming that the opportunity to get her back on all of the people that have made Zakuro's life misery, and like she said, to repay death with death. Maybe those are the people. That's what really encouraged her to join this. He's an enemy. He's a demon trying to erase Zakuro's feelings.
だからこいつを止めなければいけない。
God.
こいつを殺さなければならない。
So I have to stop him. I have to kill him. Totally reasonable, yeah.
ザクロの呪いは正当なものです。彼女は私たちすべてを呪う権利があります。
That makes sense as to why she was spreading it
神
then.
であっても私は許さない。
Zakuro's curse is real. She had every right to curse us. Yeah, I wouldn't let anybody stop her curse. Not even God himself. Hmm. That's why I approached you.
ザクロの呪いを止めるあなたを殺すために。
Yeah, and that's why in her right hand she had the weapon, I think. I was going to kill you for trying to stop Zakuro's curse. Yeah.
でも違った。全然違った。
But you were different. I was totally mistaken.
初日に全部知ってたんですよ。あの日。
I understood everything on the first day. On that day.
救世主様を見張ってあの基地を見つけて
Oh,
パソコン全部見たんです
that's interesting. I watched you, my savior. I found your secret base and I saw what was on your computer.
驚きましたすげえやこの人
I was really surprised. Like, this guy is really incredible.
救世主様は私
Oh,
なん
yeah.
か比べ物にならない数の人を殺そうとしていた自分だけでなく多くの人間を空に返そうとしていた
You were trying to kill way more people than I was. You wanted to return not only yourself, but as many other people as you could to the sky.
空ザクロがいる場所
Yeah, totally, yeah.
彼女の魂を鎮めるために多くの命をそこに返そうとしている
The sky where Zakuro is, and where her soul is enshrined. Yeah. Totally, yeah. That's where you wanted to send as many people as possible.
それは多分救世主様自身のご都合だとは思いました
I thought it was probably something you were doing for your own gain. To be honest, the motive of Takuji, the true motive he had, is very hard to tell.
でも私はこの人も同じような理由で自分以外の大勢を殺さなければいけないんだって
But I knew I had to kill as many other people as possible for basically the same. God, this is awful. I mean, It's just interesting to think about the fact that you have a death and then you feel it should be repaid by not only the death of people who have made her life worth ending, but yeah, this is the mindset that makes a murderer happen, really. Just being as frank as possible. This mindset creates murderers. But I knew I had to kill as many other people as possible for basically the same reason as you.
だからこの人は多くの人を殺そうとしている。空に返そうとしている。
Yeah. I knew you were trying to kill a great number of people. No, return them to the sky.
そうなんだ。私と同じなんだ。そしてこの人はザクロの味方なんだ。
So I think that everything that was going on with regards to Kimika being scared about the fact that Zakudo's curse would kill her, that was all complete lies as well. Can we just mention that? Well, she's got two faces. She really, really does. We can so tell from that. So I knew you were the same as me. That made you Zakudo's ally. Kimika.
ザクロの携帯を救世主様が持っていたのもすぐに気がつきました。
Yeah, totally, yeah.
瀬名川の監視って報告したらすぐに瀬名川の携帯が鳴るんですもん。
I think this is so evil how you can feel so much guilt about a death and so much guilt about your own actions that you have to take it out on other people who don't matter nearly as much to you as Zakudo does. And it's kind of a case that you care about somebody so much because of how much you wronged them that you put yourself... Well, you make it so that other people's lives are at stake just because of your own belief, and other people were threatened. Hmm.
バカでも救世主様が出していることはわかりますよ。
Even a fool could have figured out that you were the one sending those messages. Yeah, but the only thing is these people were on the worst drug possible, which is fear.
でも救世主様はどうも抜けてるから
Yeah, totally.
たまにメールを出し忘れたりする。
But the only thing is, this is the weirdest thing about Takuji. He can't have sleep patterns that are remotely normal. I mean, for example, when Kimika killed Senagawa, I mean, look at how awful his... Well, look at how awful he was, and just in general, how he could blank out for so much time. I'm going to be honest, I feel like all of the lack of ability to sleep and the excessive tiredness and just the lack of ability to do a full day without falling asleep, I think it's because of trauma. I think it might have genuinely had an impact on his brain. Well, not really his brain, but just the way his brain functions. But you were making mistakes. Sometimes you forgot to send the messages.
なんか一人でただぼんやりしてたり、独り言を変
Yeah,
に
that's so interesting, yeah.
めんどくさいから救世主様の指示なしで、途中からは全部私
That's
一人
so
でやりました。
interesting. But no, it fully makes sense. It fully does. Udidudu, that's just an image that Takuji has projected. Ayana, I don't know how you'd explain because we've seen more than one we've seen 3 people see Ayana. There is clearly supernatural, but just to which extent is there supernatural? Where do you draw the line? Sometimes you would space out and start talking to yourself. I got tired of waiting for you to get stuff done, so I started doing everything myself.
背中を心の奥
yeah.
底まで恐怖させ、殺してやりました。
I made Senagawa feel true fear and killed her. Yeah.
正直、すごい方法だと思いました。
Hmm.
私じゃ考えられない素晴らしい方法だ。
The thing is, the person planning to kill so many, and the person planning to return others to the sky, the ally, Kimika has basically completely used him because, let's be honest, Takuji wants to take on such a big project from his... Well, his deluded mind encourages him to take on such a big project of being the saviour. I won't deny that there are so many things that are really, really weird about Takuji being the saviour. I think it's so interesting just the amount of confidence that Takuji has because of the fact that he's the saviour. How could he defeat Yuki? How? And how could he make it so that bullies like Numata and Nishimura, they were looking up to him? They were scared of him. I mean, that proves that it wasn't a delusion. And if you ask me, that it proves that Takuji has phenomenal strength. It's just all of his confidence has been fully wiped out by all of these bullies, so he's never had an opportunity to really prove to himself that he is this good. And yeah, he's too deluded to make anything actually happen. But yeah, I honestly thought that was an amazing plan. I never would have thought of that. Yeah.
この人は少し抜けてるけどやっぱり本当に救世主様なんだと思いました他の人にとってはどうか知らないですけど
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
間違いなく救世主様です
Which made me think, this guy's a bit airheaded, but he really is the saviour. I don't know what the other people thought, but to me, you really were the saviour. And I can totally see this. I mean, I get that, obviously, like Kimika said, he is mad. But at the same time, he is the person who has had a desire that is... And obviously, he's not only had the desire to avenge Zakudou. Well, to be honest, it's not even avenging Zakudou at this point. It's just... Well, no, his mind was unable to cope with the severe amount of guilt and all of the emotional stress and all of the paranoia and the traumatic responses that he was receiving. So his mind just completely switches in order for him to be able to cope. This is all a coping mechanism for the incident. And this is the thing about Takuji. I mean, there is not a person who is less emotionally... No, actually, no. I mean, I feel bad for saying this because he is very traumatized from his bullying, I'd assume. But there is rarely a person who is less emotionally intelligent than him. But that's not his fault. I'm not saying it is, but that's why he has such a lack of grasp on reality. Yeah. Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, totally reasonable. I mean, that incompetent little fucker is the reason that so much bullying has gone on. Let's be honest here. I mean, because that's what she is. She is incompetent. She's been unable to deal with a problem that is so relevant to her. I mean, I get that obviously everything that with Kiyokawa is nuts and yeah, isn't it interesting to think about the fact that Takuji's reasons for killing all of the teachers are totally delusional, but then they're kind of similar in a way because I suppose they're delusional, but the true nature of the delusions could be applied to people who aren't delusional, like Kimika. I think Kimika's damaged, she's not delusional, in my opinion. You kill somebody because they are treating the world as... well, they are distributing lies and they are distributing everything that is wrong about the world. But the only thing... and rather than actually looking at the real issues, i.e. with Takuji's case, it was the true nature of the world and the true nature of how people were and the incomplete nature of the world. But the only thing is with people like Kimika, she would have thought they teach so much and yet they divert from the actual issues of the world, like bullying, and they don't do anything about it. Yeah, I probably hated Senagawa Yui more than Zakudou herself did. Yeah. It's just so awful to think about the fact that we have a story that is centered around someone we know the heart of so little. I mean, what have we actually learnt about Zakudou herself in this chapter? Like, that she masturbates in public. But apart from that, have we actually learned anything? We've always been in the complete dark of about Zakudor when seeing her and Takaji's relationship. I don't actually know who Zakudor hated the most, but
でも救世主様がザクロが一番恨んでいるのは瀬名川だとおっしゃった時は、
Yeah.
それはもう心が躍りました。
But when you said that Zakudor hated Senagawa the most, my heart fluttered.
すごい。この人すごい。分かってる。
Yeah.
すごく真実を言い当ててる。
No, I can see that. And I can actually see why Kimika is genuinely feeling as if Takaji is her saviour. Because, well, it's the case that he is the person that enables Kimika to be able to exert her revenge as much as possible on everybody else. Amazing. This guy is amazing. He understands. He's speaking the truth.
ザクロは知らないけど、
You just lead
少
to
なくても私
more
自
and
身
more
は
bad things
あいつが
happening.
一番許せなかった。
Yeah.
一番ひどい死に方をさせたかった。
Yeah, but that is totally reasonable. I don't know about Zakudor, but I know that I never could have forgiven Senagawa. I wanted to make her die a more gruesome death than anyone else. Yeah. And this is the horrible thing about Kimika's guilt and everything that is going on regarding her. Yeah. It leads to more and more crime and bad actions because she can never find peace with herself if she doesn't. And the more she murders, the more she feels. Well, the thing is, this is like what Fenrir was trying to show. You want to atone for the dead, but the thing is, your desire will never ever stop growing, really. Yeah, that's why I was amazed by your plan.
本当は赤坂メグも
Yeah.
北見里子も瀬名川みたいに恐怖の中で殺してやりたかったんです。
If possible, I would have liked to make Akasaka Megu and Kitami Satoko die in utter terror like she did.
だから私は私なりに考えたんですよ。いろいろと。 でも最後に出た結論は救世主様に任せるのが一番だな。
No, totally. Because I think being brainwashed and completely made to make yourself into a joke by the people that have bullied you, but the people that you have bullied the most. Yeah, it's the worst humiliation that they could possibly undergo. But in the end, I just decided to leave it to
ザ
you.
クロの呪いを具現化させたのはこの人だもの。
Yeah.
私の願いを最後まで具現化させられるのもやはりこの人しかいない。
You were the one who made Zakudor's curse into a reality, so I knew you were the only one who could make my wish come true. Yeah.
救世主様はあなたなんだ。
Yeah.
私の救世主は
You're the saviour. You're my saviour. The thing is about Kimika, I mean, it's so backward. You're kind of happy for her because of the fact that she's been able to make peace with Zakudor, and she... Well, has she really? Or is she just telling her that the more she does this, the more she feels as if there is something that she's she's done that can never be forgiven. How she acted to Zakuro, that can never be forgiven by her. But at the same time, I mean, why is it the case that Takuji, well, she's never going to be forgiven at all. The desire to murder is just going to cause more and more of the same thoughts, and nothing is ever going to progress. The same thought of, I can't atone for what I've done, I must kill in order, because of the fact that the dead can only, killing somebody can only atone for the dead. That's what she thinks. You're the saviour, you're my saviour.
誰も私を見てくれなかった。ずっと私を見てくれなかった。ザクロだって私を見ていてくれたわけじゃない。
No one really looked at me. No one ever looked at me. Not even Zakuro was really looking at me.
彼女はただいい子なだけ。
Totally agree,
優し
yeah.
くて
Yeah,
心が綺麗。
you say it.
だから私に接してきただけ。
Even after being ridiculously bullied, this is the case, and she has such a respectful personality. She was just a good girl. She was incredibly kind, and her soul was beautiful. That's the only reason she talked to me. Yeah.
「私をちゃんと見てくれたのは救世主様だけだった」「ちゃんと話をして、ちゃんと目を見て、
Yeah, that's the awful thing, yeah.
笑ったり困ったり、いろいろな感情を見せてくれて、
It's just so twisted to think about the fact that all of these things, all of this understanding, there are so many good things that have happened to Kimika as a result of being able to commit crimes. And that's just encouraged her more and more because she feels as if she's got understanding and she's been looked at for the actual person she is more than anything before. You're the only one who truly looked at me for who I am. You really talked to me, looked me in the eyes, got mad at me, laughed with me. Yeah. Got annoyed with me. You showed me all those emotions.
男の人なのに全然セックスに興味も示さないし。あ、でもオナニーはよくやってるみたいですね。
You're a boy, but you don't seem interested in sex at all. Well, I guess you do jerk off a lot. No, but I can kind of see what she's saying, though. She's not like anybody else who is just interested in sex and just interested in, well, having a girl so that you can have a relationship. He's totally different.
なんだそれ。
What did you say?
でも私もやりましたよ。
Yeah, fair enough.
けど
Oh, but I do that too. Just once in a while, though.
神の歌を聴きに屋上に出ましたよね。
Yeah. We went up on the roof to hear the God's song, right?
私完全にラリってたから牛が牛がとか言ってましたけど
You seriously were, yeah. I was totally tripping, so I kept rambling about cows and stuff.
でもあの時確かに神様の歌を聴きました。
But if you were tripping and you were high and you were just... If you were tripping on drugs and you were high, how did you hear God's song? How do you know you really heard that? But you know, I really did hear
世
God's
界
song.
と神様の差って言葉と音楽の差なんだって知りました。
I found out that the difference between the world and God is the difference between words and music.
本当に実感できました。
I felt that truth deep in my soul.
そんなこと誰も教えない。誰も知らない。教師とか親とか評論家とか政治家とか
Crap and irrelevant
くだら
stuff.
ないことばかり教えるのに
No one could have told me that. No one knew that. Yeah. Teachers, parents, writers, politicians, they're all the same. They just talk about boring crap.
救世主様はいろいろなことを
Yeah,
私
no,
に
no,
教
no,
えてくださ
totally.
いました。
This is the one thing that has resonated and that has truly let her learn. Even though Takagi was totally deluded, but still. He may have been deluded, but at the same time his soul was right where, well, it hit the nail on the head for what Kimika wanted.
世界は残酷だけど、世界は
Yeah,
汚いけど、
reasonable.
でも美しいんだ。
I like that, yeah. The world is cruel, and the world is impure, but it's also incredibly beautiful.
あの夜、歌って踊って叫んでフラフラになって星が全部降ってきて、私たちのために全てが輝いて。
That night we sang and danced and screamed and spun around till we fell to the ground. All the stars fell from the sky, and everything in the world glittered just for me. Yeah, I see that.
そうなんだ、そういうことなんだって思いました。
I realised that's what it was all about.
救世主様はおっしゃいました。世界の価値は時間では測れない、意味では測れないって。
It was something you said before, Kyuseishu-sama. You can't measure the world's value only by the time you spend in it, and you can't measure its value with meaning either. Hmm.
あの時私、世界の重さを測ってみたんです。
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that
持
time.
った測りで。
That night I tried to measure the weight of the world with that scale.
そしたら世界の重さって神様の重さと同じだったんですよ。
And when I did, the world's weight was exactly the same as God's weight.
あの瞬間で世界と神様の重さが同じになったんです。
In that very moment, the world was the exact same weight as God.
ダンス、歌と踊り、
Dance, dance, dance with the music.
救世主とダンス、宇宙でダンス。
Dance with the Saviour, dance through the universe.
檻の外のダンス、
Yeah, totally dance outside the cage.
世界で初めての檻の外でのダンス。
The world's first dance outside the cage.
だから
Hmm.
もう終わりです。
So now it's over.
これで終わりなんです。
It is, yeah, this is the end.
でも私、こうやって
Ooh, this is going to be
これだけ
interesting.
の人間を殺して初めて分かったんです。
But now that I've killed all these people, I understand for the first
生
time.
きて償ってって言葉の意味を。
The meaning of the words live on and repay your debt.
わがままなのは分かってます。でも
I know that it's selfish for me to ask you this, but
救世主様はあなただけは生きていてください。
God, my saviour, you, at least you should continue to live. But the only thing is there are so many things that would make Takagi believe that the world is going to end on the 20th. Does he genuinely think it's going to end? This is going to be interesting. My saviour, you, at least you should
あ
continue
な
to
ただ
live.
けは生きて償ってください。
Yeah. But the only thing is, I mean, I understand that all of these people, he is killing the people who have done the worst offences to Zakuro and the people who have distributed the most lies of how the world should be lived in. Well, it's ironic with teachers because they teach you about a certain way the world should be lived in, but if you deviate from the way they're encouraging, you don't know what to do. There's no guidance. It's entirely up to your own mind and spirit to interpret everything and interpret how you do it, really. Even if no one else, at least you, please live on and repay our debt. But the only thing is, I mean, you have killed so many people. I don't understand how you would repay the debt for the amount of people that you killed. Because let's be honest, somebody like Takuji, I mean, he's killed such a ridiculous amount. How could he ever live with himself if he becomes sane? If he sees out of the delusions? Even if no one else, at least you, please live on and repay our debt.
最後の死は私が受け入れます。
Will you? I'll be the final death.
ザクロに捧げるための最後の死は私で終わりです。
The last life that needs to be sacrificed to Zakuro is mine. This is the thing that's so tricky. Why is it the case that a life ever needs to be sacrificed? That's what I would instinctively ask. But then it's the case that, well, like Fenrir actually, I find it really quite funny to think about the fact that Takuji has never really understood Kimika, and yet at the same time, instinctively, he has made a speech that has resonated with her more than anything. Well, like Fenrir, I mean, the desire to atone to Zakuro and to make amends of what you have done, it grows so much, and it never ever stops growing, so much so that, in the end, it's the case that you can't repay what you've done. Yeah, the last life that needs to be sacrificed to Zakuro is mine. Yeah, the only way you break that cycle is dying yourself.
もしかしたらこ
I
れが
totally see what she means.
本当に呪いだったのかなとか思うんです。
Sometimes I really wonder if this was a curse.
ずっと死ぬことなんて怖くなかったのに
I was never scared of dying.
この世に未練なんて何もなかったから
But that's only because I never had any regrets.
それが最後の最後で未練ができるなんてな
Can't believe that now, at the very end, I've found one thing to regret. Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
好きな人ができるなんて
God, and I just find it so awful to think about the fact that she has such a ridiculous amount of guilt and hatred for herself, even... Well, I think the most awful thing is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yet another deluded comment that Takuji has made that has completely resonated with her. It's as if everything in his speeches has fully resonated with Kimika, unintentionally. And that's why. And that's just another reason why she has fallen for him so much. In the end, Takuji, the reason these people loved each other, they had good chemistry and they were the only people who mutually understood each other. It's just such a twisted and horrible love that had the potential to happen, always. No, it didn't. I think it's only with the understanding that Kimika would fall in love with someone like Takuji. Yeah, it's tricky. Can't believe I fell in love just before the end.
一度でいいから抱かれたいなんて思うなんて
I want someone to make love with me, even just once.
人生に未練が残りました
I hope she doesn't suicide, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, the thing is about all of this is... Why? I mean... You obviously have so many regrets and you've made atonements to Zakuro is still not enough, so you feel you need to die yourself. But... I mean, why? Why do you have to die? Well, this is the problem. It's because it's too painful to live on. After what you've done to Zakuro. I have one regret in my life. Kimika. Kimika.
でもダメ、それは絶対ダメなんです。
But I can't do that. But I can't do that.
全てを満たしてしまったら償いにならない。
Oh god, that's evil. Yeah, if I do everything I want to do before I die, I won't truly be able to atone for my mistake. And I can totally see what she's saying here. Why should you deserve the luxury of having everything that you want done when other people, as a result of your incompetence, have died? And when I say other people, I don't mean just Sakura. I mean also the people that were innocently killed as a result of the fact that, as a result of her being unable to control her emotions. Because let's be honest, all of the people that have died, all of the people that these people have murdered for their motives, it's all because of this. Yeah, if I do everything I want to do before I die, I won't truly be able to atone for my mistake. Yeah.
私は彼女に償わなければならない。
God, yeah, I have to atone for what I did to her. This is really what the human heart can do to somebody. It really is. I have to atone for what I did to her.
彼女の呪いを成就させたんだから。だから救世主様と神様とのダンスは、あれはご褒美。
I made her curse come true, so my dance with you and with God was just a little reward.
私の世界の価値はあのご褒美だけで十分。あのご褒美だけで世界は意味に満ちている。
If that gave some value to my world, then that's enough. That reward is enough to give my world some meaning. Just want to reread the stuff about God. Oh, where is it? Yeah, it's as if all of the world, everything in the world glittering for her is it's kind of like an admiration, an acknowledgement of her effort. That's how she may have interpreted it. Oh god, yeah. God, that scene at the end, the celebration breaking out of the cage of the world. It really takes a different meaning now, it so does. All that's left is for me to atone. So please, my saviour, remain here. Oh no. Is she? Whoa, is that Ayana?
No, that is Kimika.
She looks like Ayana, just there. I had to doubt it for a second. God, look at the houses and the scenery that's here. Just like that, her body. Sorry, I just have to prepare for this. I don't want to be yawning if I... Anyway. The world tilted at a diagonal. Kimika's body wasn't parallel with the world anymore. Yeah. She moved from the world of parallel lines to the one of freefall. Two irreconcilable worlds. What does irreconcilable mean? Oh, right, that's really good. That's really well written. Of ideas, there's two ideas that are so different that they cannot be made compatible. She was sucked down. Yeah. She said, "This is my atonement." She said, "Yeah, this is enough." She said, "This is the value of my world." From a perspective that's not biased, I can kind of see that. I mean, you, by trying to maintain your own selfish desires, I get that they are troubling you, but why do other people have to die? I can fully understand her motives. I can totally understand them. But why do people have to die? Why is it their fault? It's a very tricky question, that. This is so geniusly put, by the way. It's something that you could only think. You could only attribute thoughts like that to Takuji. I think that's a load of shit. Who cares about the world? Who cares about atonement? Who cares about Takashima? Okay, I'm sorry, I just can't. Why are all of these the same fucking length? Seriously, this is so coincidental. This is 10, wait, this is 9 characters, right? Yeah, 9. 9. 9. 9 as well. Who cares about death? I want to embrace her. I just want to hold her close. I don't care if I live on. I don't care if anyone lives on. The world. Me. Kimika. None of us need to live on. Everything can just disappear. I just want... This is the most evil thing. This is the most evil thing, especially because of the fact that now it's actually happened. You can't go back whatsoever, even if you wanted to. There's just no way you can. And, yeah. There's just nothing that could ever convince this person. But the thing is, she lives with so much guilt and so much of a complex because of everything that has happened with Zakudor, that she feels if she was allowed to live, would that be a kind service to her? That would be doing her disservice more than anything else. Letting her live. Everything can just disappear. I just want to hold her in my arms. Yeah. It's evil. It really is evil how the fact that the world is so beautiful and yet situations like these can happen. Yeah, and like Takuji said, the world is disgusting and yet it is so beautiful at the same time, but Yeah, even if it's just 1 second before death. Even if it's just a glitter in a fleeting whirl. And to feel the warmth of her living body. God. So I jumped. Isn't this interesting? You've done so much in order to exert revenge on everyone that has had a cause in Zakudor's death. But the only thing is, this was a relationship he was failing to protect. It was never about Zakudor, all of this. It was just about him coming to terms with his guilt in a way that he doesn't even understand himself. He's never really understood himself, and yet he's made such big moves. And he's forgotten about his guilt, if anything, because more has arrived. When he forgot about Zakudor, it was him genuinely believing in what he was saying. But now, this conversation with Kimika, I think it's made him realise just how little he cares about Zakudor, and it's horrible, it really is, but it's interesting as well. It really is interesting how he's changed. Yeah, and this is the worst thing. I mean, you are not only seeing the person you love suicide, but you were, I mean, how could you ever live with yourself after that? I can totally see why he'd think that. But the only thing is, the horrible thing, I mean, you just so impulsively end your life. You end everything that has happened in your life just within an instant, just within a thought. Yeah, this is evil. I mean, they had such a bond, but it's such a bond formed from tragedy. At least there was something that was a little bit good about this. But God. Yep. Interesting about Kimika, by the way, can I just mention the fact that everything with regards to celebrating, she celebrates in a playful and, well, not really playful, but celebratory manner to all of the people that don't matter, all of the people that she feels don't deserve the level of seriousness that Takagi does. And then we have the rightful seriousness only between the people who matter in this story, the people who drive the love forward. And the two lovers, I just can't believe they're lovers in the end, but it does totally make sense.
Kimika!
Kimika! Complete free fall, yeah. Minus 9.81, motherfucker. I never intended to survive the fall. I know, yeah. I never intended to save Kimika. No, in truth, I wanted her to live. Even if I die. God, so what is your death for? I want her to live, but... Agreed. That wish will never be fulfilled. A dream I can never grasp. God, how brutal, but how true. How true, you can't dodge it. You can't. In a few seconds, she and I will splatter onto the concrete. It's such an insane way to think about it, but it's true. God, that's scary. I mean, whenever you think about the fact that someone dead who had emotions and had humanity and had life is reduced to flesh, it's scary, but when you apply it to yourself, fucking hell. Yeah, that's just... It's reality though, and that's the scariest part. It is reality. But even so... My god, there's Takagi. I want to hold Kimika. I want to hold her tight. Yeah, fair enough. I just want to hold her tight. Here in freefall. Simply feeling her warmth is enough for me. Isn't it interesting that Takagi feels such genuine love here, and he really... It's horrible. It really is. The one love that he feels is genuine, and the one love that he feels... It's not something that stems from lust. And let's be honest, all of the feelings of relationship from Zakuro, deluded lust. This is not, this is real. And what's going to happen to him in a few seconds? Death. Like he said, he's going to become a pile of flesh. Simply feeling her warmth is enough for me. When she saw me, Kimika cried and said, "You dummy." Yeah, she was crying, but she seemed happy too. She seemed very sad, but also very happy. Yeah. I'm sure she was oh god, totally struggling with a lot of emotions. I felt that her happiness outweighed all the rest. She smiled and hugged me back. She squeezed me tight. Never let you... so good that they were able to understand, these two were able to understand each other at the end. I've always wanted to do this. She said that to me with something much faster than words. There are things that travel much faster than words. There are things that ring much truer than words. Even in those fleeting moments, the world holds meaning. The world holds significance. The end has come. Yeah, the last. The final moment. Oh. Sirens in the distance. Yeah, the black sky. The laughing moon. The dew upon the earth. The dancing stars. The cool air. God, yeah, taking in everything that you can see before the inevitable. Something warm within me. Tachibana Kimika. As I held her in my arms, she silently closed her eyes. And then I also quietly closed my eyes. Yeah. God. Oh god, what now? Ooh, what's going on? Ah, I see. So that's the ending. Holy shit, that was amazing. So you have a character, and then you get everything that's related to that character, and then you produce the best fucking ending you possibly can. That was so good. That was seriously well written. I really enjoyed that, and I think that was just so interesting to learn about everything regarding her character, and it was so good. I'll talk about it more. I just want to listen to the song for a sec. Yeah, it's this one. Think about how empty the vocals sound and how depressing they sound. I feel so bad for these two. Oh, Naglfar, that's interesting. I remember Naglfar. Sounds familiar. Oh, so Kimika and Miu have the same voice actor. Miu hasn't even been in this story, can I just mention that? They really did a good job for this credit song. They make such an iconic theme that, if you ask me, it just really fits, and I think it fits the ending of this chapter as well, because this ending is too sad. It really is. It's sad, it makes you lose yourself, it makes you really lucky that you are alive, and, well, really, it just makes you lucky that it just makes me lucky that things like these are not happening to me in some cases, and also just in general, the fact that I'm not in this situation. But also it's just so awful to think about everything regarding Kimika and Takuji. It's genius. What now? Are we seeing something new? Ah, right, I see. So we've not unlocked looking glass insects yet. Ooh. That was interesting. Oh. I wonder what that was. That little glitch that occurred there, that glitch effect. Well, maybe we'll see more of that when we look into the next chapter. I don't know, that's really unusual. I do wonder what that is. But yeah, that was brilliant. That really was. I mean, fucking hell. They know how to do. Whoever wrote this game, the Skadi guys, they know how to make an ending that hits. They really do. Yeah. Like I said, just when I was reading the credits, they know how to get something that impacts you. And then they get something that impacts you, and what they do is they use it to their utmost advantage. And they make something that is so beautifully written, and God, it's just so multiple-sided as well. I mean, you wish the best for characters like this, but that's only because of how much you've seen their struggles emotionally. This is why Subarashiki Hibi varies so much with perspective. You see here such damaged and unfortunate and horribly treated people. But if we looked through the eyes of somebody like Yuki or Kagami, especially Kagami, it's murder. It's nothing short of murder. Yeah, like Kagami said, Takuji is the cause of all evil, but because of the fact that, let's be honest, these people were so disconnected from what is truly right and wrong, because of how wrong they've been treated in their lives, they don't see it as murder. And if anything, this wasn't murder. I mean, it was murder. I shouldn't dare say that it wasn't. But aside from murder, something beautiful came out of it. And like Takuji said, the world is filled with things that are fully disgusting, but at the same time things that are beautiful. And that's just the love between Takuji and Kimika. Yeah, this was geniusly written, it really was. And it's something that, my fucking god, it hit. It really did hit. And I'm just going to be very interested to see how the other ending varies and what's different about it as well. Because, interestingly enough, this ending had Takuji and Kimika both suicide. In Chapter 2's ending, we only saw what was going on with regards to Yuki. I'd assume that Kimika was never accepted by Takuji for some reason or the other, and obviously that's why they didn't suicide together. They never had any love interest. But of course that's the case. I mean, look at how Takuji reacted to Yuki, how happy he was, and how surprised he was that Yuki had solved everything. Now, yeah. You nearly got everything right. I remember that Takuji saying you didn't fully get everything right. You nearly got everything right. One problem. Who killed Senagawa? It wasn't Takuji. Yeah. So, I do wonder what's going to happen. The thing we need to... Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. But, the thing we need to do in order to get the next ending is to go to the other choice. We need to look at the choices where, ironically, Zakuro is being fantasized about. Takuji is fantasizing about Zakuro. And we need to pick the choice that says, snap out of this delusion. I do wonder how the story's going to change. And I heard that the last 3 days are really different. I don't know about anything else. But yeah, let's hope it's as good as this one, because my god, they know how to end a story well. They really do. Brilliant stuff, honestly. I mean, to be honest, it's rare you read something as good as this. Something as conflicted and in depth and just in general. I mean, you root for the characters so much when reading stuff like this, and It's just so many things to contemplate and think about, and so many things to realise, really. You just realise how truly tragic all of this is, and how mad it is as well. It's good. It really, really is. By the way, can I just mention I'm really excited for Looking Glass Insects. I've heard it's a really messed up chapter, but at the same time, it's really, really good in terms of how it's presented, because I've heard this is more fictional and more centered around delusions, whereas things like Looking Glass Insects is more real and more, it equates more to reality. So I'm going to be really interested to see how Subarashiki Hibi does reality-based things. Right, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time, where we will do the other ending.